This is TAC Talk, Teens Advancing Conversations.
Hi, I'm Anaya, and welcome to our new series, TAC Talk. TAC Talk is about getting to know community leaders a bit more, and today we have our first guest, Sheri Lewin, founder of Thrive Claremont, a nonprofit for teens. Sheri, can you tell us a bit more about yourself?
Well, I am a resident of Southlake County. I've been here since 1999. I raised all three of my children here as students. My oldest graduated from Southlake High School in 2011. My son graduated from Montverde Academy, and then my youngest graduated from Southlake High School in class of 2020. So I've been around Southlake County a long time, and I'm a business owner, entrepreneur, and now a nonprofit leader.
What pushed you into the nonprofit business?
Well, really, like most people that start a nonprofit, I think it was the passion for the change I wanted to see in the world. When my oldest daughter was 13, I saw that there was a lack of resources in Southlake County for teens. And I saw a lot of resources in our professionals and our tradespeople that could share a little bit of time and make a big difference in students' lives. But there wasn't a framework for that to happen. So I got really passionate about building that framework, and it just sort of grew from there.
Yeah.
So would you say your kids really influenced you starting this nonprofit?
Oh, yeah. I think that witnessing firsthand the challenges that the students have, as well as hearing from parents about the woes of where to find resources and opportunities to help their students advance, get ready for college, get ready to be leaders in future communities. And we just didn't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known it if I hadn't had kids. Yeah, for sure.
That goes into, Natalie was telling you something. So if you had, could tell your younger self to go back and make a nonprofit when you were younger, what do you think your nonprofit would have been about?
When I was younger, well, I have really always had a passion for working with teens. I think I had a challenging teen years myself, and then I also in my 20s was a Big Brother Big Sister in the Big Brother Big Sister program in Orlando, which is where I lived at the time. And then when I moved out to the Claremont area, before I even had teenagers of my own, I was teaching in junior achievement, volunteering in the schools. So I really think it's my favorite age to work with. I would have ended up somewhere in the teen support area, I think.
So before this, you were kind of telling us a little bit about how you did 100 cups of coffee to when you were first starting Thrive. So could you share one of those memories you have doing that?
Oh, yeah. So I had a mentor early in my career that said to me, when you have an idea or a project, try to find 10 people that you really respect and have a cup of coffee with them, lay out your idea and get good feedback from people that you trust. And so I did that when I thought about starting Thrive, and then everybody I met with told me 2 more people I should have coffee with and gave me a book to read. So then I felt like I was really getting deep into it. And I remember being at Cheezer's right before Thrive's first event in 2016 and having coffee with Chief Broadway. And he was my 100th cup of coffee, which was about 2 a year for an entire year.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have that picture.
What year was that too?
That was it, right in October of 2016.
Okay.
So a lot of coffee in 2016.
Yeah, I was pumped. Hence the mugs.
And was that the year that you started Thrive, or did it take place the year after? So that was that year.
Yeah, we received our 501c3 in March of 2016, and I had been preliminarily talking with the Boys and Girls Club, and we partnered with them for our very first event, which was held in October of 2016. So we kind of celebrate March and October as our anniversary of 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Do you want to share how you came up with the name Thrive?
Oh, gosh.
I don't think I even know this.
I don't think. Well, we went around and around with lots of names. We started with Thrive, and we thought, oh, it's too common. We need something fancier, and we went through a whole list of names. Sometimes naming something by committee isn't great because you get too many options. And then at the end of the day, we said, we like Thrive. And so we went back to Thrive, and I had an idea in my head of how I wanted the logo to look, which was the hands growing the trees. And that's how it came to be.
Yeah.
Nice.
So let's talk about like setbacks. And I want to know, like, this has been a long process, a long journey. How has it been overcoming those things that might have taken you back a step, you know?
Yeah. So, well, I would say our biggest setback was 2020
Mhm.
when COVID hit, because we were really building momentum in the first 3 years as an in-person experience for students to have, you know, face-to-face contact with professionals and mentors and learn new skills. And none of that could happen.
Mhm.
We also were financially dependent on sponsors of those events. So when you don't have events, you don't have sponsors. And we had brought on our first staff person at the beginning, put our first person on payroll in February of 2020, right before COVID hit. So it was a really tough year for us to try to manage, you know, having the commitment to a staff person as well as the downfall in the economy. And when there were so many other needs in the community with food insecurity and job losses that we just had to sort of hunker down and regroup. And it was, you know, it was a lot of figuring out what to do next because it was very uncertain for everybody. But we stuck with it, and here we are.
Yeah.
I feel like definitely during that time we realized the importance of in-person events for teens, because the virtual events, they were fun, but getting everyone in the same room together was really important.
And how long have you been on TAC? Because Natalie's been on TAC for a long time.
I think this is my 5th year on the TAC.
5th year.
So I've known Sheri for a while.
Yeah. And how would you say that you've seen Natalie grow, like specifically?
Oh, Natalie? Well, I remember it like it was yesterday. We were doing the volunteer training, and she was there with 2 of her friends. They were sort of the 3 musketeers. And they joined the TAC shortly after that training. And Natalie was very interested in event planning. So she was always asking me questions about our events that we were planning. And at that time, our TAC was more of an advisory capacity. We used them as a focus group and outreach mostly. And then at the end of that first year, we said, what do you think the TAC should be doing? And Natalie said, pull back the curtain and let us be involved in the details of planning the events. And so I've just watched her take on more and more and more responsibility. And, you know, she could run the summer pop-ups for real by now.
And for those who don't know, TAC stands for Teen Advisory Council. We didn't state that before, but that's pretty important. So yeah, Teen Advisory Council.
And we take applications twice a year. And we take up to 20 individuals twice a year.
And that's in January and
July.
Yeah, so if you're interested in that.
It's a commitment.
Definitely.
You guys could speak to that.
But when you're on the TAC, we have 2 different committees. We have the social media / digital communications committee, as well as our event planning committee. So definitely a lot of fun options with that.
Yeah. And then how do you feel like because do you really manage us, or like how is that, you know, how do you feel about that?
I was working with the TAC as the...
Oh, that's an interesting analogy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like teaching your kids to do the laundry. It takes like 3 times as long for the first 6 months to do everything, but then after that, it's smooth sailing.
Yeah.
We're waiting on that smooth sailing part. No, I'm just kidding. They're doing great. Yeah, I think it's been great. I love, you know, teaching people how to take responsibility and accountability and learn new things. And why not do it now when you're not in a professional being paid for it? I've really learned most of my skills as a volunteer. So I love passing that little tidbit on to teens.
I definitely say Sheri pushes us to do a lot of new things that maybe we wouldn't do on our own.
For sure. I know you talk a lot about like getting people to do outreach with you and going to raise money and fundraising, stuff like that. I haven't done that, but all the people that have say it's gone well.
I definitely credit Sheri for my public speaking skills. 5 years ago, I could never get in front of a crowd, and now I can do it with ease.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Anaya right here, who wasn't going to be in front of the camera ever.
No,
and she's asking all the questions today. So right there, you're a testament.
Which I appreciate. Yeah, thank you.
What makes Claremont a special place to you?
Well, I've raised all of my children here, and that's always makes it special. And I think that what's unique about Claremont is we have such a diverse community. We have a lot of diversity as far as economic diversity. We have racial diversity. We have a lot of diversity in our area. We have executives that work at Disney. We have presidents of hospitals and doctors that are here. We have people that are migrant farm workers, and all of their kids are students here in South Lake County. So to try to find a program was difficult, because I think we have a special community in that way. Sometimes you look at communities that might be like a suburb of Atlanta, and pretty much it's pretty homogenous in a pretty large community, and we are so diverse. I like that. I learn things all the time from you guys about your cultural background. I know you guys know I always ask what you're having for dinner when we're on our Zooms, because I always like to learn about what everyone eats in their families. And so I just think the diversity of South Lake County is what makes it special.
Thank you so much, Sheri, for coming on. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to come. We know it's a busy schedule, so thank you. We appreciate it. And at the end, we just have a little twist for you. We would like you to ask each some questions, or a question each. You know?
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think. Well, I'll start with you, Anaya.
Okay.
We're on the hot seat.
I know.
You've been pretty consistently on the video team since you joined the TAC, and you've seen it grow, and you've now done 2 30-second evergreen videos for us that you wrote and directed. You're sort of the brainchild behind this project. Where do you want to see the video team go next year?
I really hope that we get more video team members, because I feel like I enjoy working on everything and doing everything, but I always like brainstorming with other people. So I really hope that when we do our registration in January, if you were wondering about that, that we get some more people on who want to do video, and then we can brainstorm new ideas, try some new things. You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Natalie, what do you think are 1 or 2 of the top things that you learned serving throughout your whole high school career on the Teen Advisory Council?
I definitely think during my time on the TAC, I've learned how to network and really connect with people. Before Thrive, I never really knew how to go up to someone, introduce myself, and kind of build that connection that can lead us to working together longer. And I think that's something I'll take away that'll be really helpful when I'm in college.
Awesome. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you.
So thank you again for coming, and thank you for tuning in to TAC Talk. Make sure to follow us on Thrive Claremont and tac.thrive on Instagram, and make sure to also check us out on Facebook.
And YouTube.
And Twitter.
Not Twitter.
And Twitter. All right.
Great. Thank
That's
you.
it. We're done.
That's it? Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some food. I'm hungry. Bye, everybody. For those of you that are still there, you're still listening. Go home.
It's a long list of
Yes, it's a long list, but I'm
Yeah, yeah. So how did you get started? Like, what was? Yeah. Natalie got me questions.
You up, Natalie?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Leah's over there in the background. What do you have? Okay.
This turtleneck's getting hot.
Is there a fan? I was just.
Yeah, there is.
These studio lights are
No, honestly.
It might blow the columns over though.
Well, we can have a nice, like a wind breeze.
Yeah, the tropical breeze.
Yeah. So thank you so much for Sheri for coming on. You look great. No, that's so bad.